Hey everyone, this is ZRPG and I'm back with another video. Yeah, my mom's camera is back now. She had it fixed, but I don't think it actually fixed the problem, so I don't know if she's going to send it back ever or not, but it wasn't really a problem for me to begin with. But anyway, this is going to be a video response to relewis2011, aka Rusty's video. He did his Pokemon video game collection, and I thought I'd do the same. I mean, it got most of the collections. I've got most of the collections here that you'd see most of these games in, but seeing them together is a different thing altogether. I have them organized first by console and then handheld. I have the console games and then handheld games separately. I'm gonna go through them chronologically, except I wasn't sure on the N64 games. I'm sorry I didn't look it up or anything. They were around the similar times, but not sure. I'm just going to be real brief about them too. So, in the N64, Hey You Pikachu. I don't even have the microphone for this anymore, so even if I wanted to play it, I couldn't. But from what I remember, it wasn't very responsive, but it was really a neat concept at the time, and it was nothing you really had seen before, using a microphone to talk to Pikachu and everything. I'd like to try it again sometime, but I need the microphone still. Pokemon Stadium, I used to love playing this. You could hook up your Game Boy Color games, and you could play it from there. It was a lot of fun. I used to play with my brother a lot. Really get a lot of enjoyment out of that. Pokemon Snap, a weird concept that worked out surprisingly well. I really want them to make like a Pokemon Snap 2, and they could really make this one amazing because you've got over 600 Pokemon now, as opposed to the 150 or 151 they had at this point. So they could really make a massive Pokemon Snap game where you take a picture of over 600 Pokemon out in these tons of environments. You know, there's so many different types and everything. I think it could work well. So yeah, I'm sticking with consoles for now, and then I'm going to switch over to handheld and start up from there. But Pokemon Coliseum. I actually got this after I got Pokemon XD, and I got the bonus disc as well, which gives you Jirachi, but my brother got that. Pokemon Coliseum, it's pretty fun, but it was hard going to this after playing Pokemon XD, because they're pretty much the same game, except XD is a little more polished. You know, it looks a little better, the gameplay's a little bit better, in my opinion. And it's weird, because you're pretty much playing the same game with like a lot of the same exact locations and everything, but yep, might as well go and say Pokemon XD right now. I love this game. It's quite possibly my favorite Pokemon game. You don't hear near as much recognition about it. I love the shiny case, by the way. It deserves a lot more recognition than it gets, I think. The whole Shadow Pokemon concept was really unique. Something you didn't see before in the series, and it was definitely a nice refreshment. I really like to see a new console Pokemon game, even if it's just another OR region game, which this is actually the OR region, which not many people know that. Such a weird name. That's right. Pokemon Battle Revolution. I think this is the only Pokemon game that I hate. It's really like, I had so much expectations for it because I was thinking it's going to be Pokemon Stadium. That's basically what it was trying to be, Pokemon Stadium for the Wii, but it really didn't have much at all. You could only play with the Pokemon that you had on your Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, and it really wasn't that fun overall, I don't think. Yeah, I didn't enjoy it at all. The worst Pokemon game I've played, I'd say. Poke Park Wii, Pikachu's Adventure. Now, maybe this would be worse than it, but it's really good for what it's trying to be. It's trying to be a children's game this time. Like, Pokemon's always played off as a children's game, even though a lot of adults enjoy it, and of course, it's not a children's game. But this is one that actually pretty much tries to be a children's game. I know there's a second one, but I've only played a little bit of this. It's really not very good. I don't like it that much at all. Like, it's way too cutesy for me, but I think I could see it being a very cool game, like mindless game, if you just want to like listen to a podcast or whatever without extensive reading or thinking. Just play through this game. It would be all happy fun times. Yep. That's Perky Park Wii. Now onto the handheld. That's all the console ones I have right there. There's not many more. I know there's Pokemon Channel and the Pokemon Box, things like that. I want to get Pokemon Channel eventually, even though I heard it's not very good, but still. Pokemon Blue. I don't have any of the boxes for these handheld Pokemon games aside from the DS and 3DS ones. I haven't played much of this because I actually grew up on the Pokemon Yellow game, but it broke and it wouldn't save my game anymore, so I got rid of it. That was back when I didn't care. But even now, I probably would have gotten rid of it because honestly, what's the point of a broken game? But yeah, I want to get into this, but it's hard to get into this now with all the new Pokemon games and going back with older features and everything. Pokemon Gold. I remember playing this back in the day because my sister had it and she let me play it. That's about the only reason I was able to play a little bit. I remember being weird with the phone, like using the telephone and everything, because that was completely different for the series. Pokemon Fire Red on the Game Boy Advance. It's weird with a lot of Pokemon games. I got all 8 badges, but then just didn't beat the Elite Four. And then I traded all my Pokemon onto Pokemon Diamond, I think, and I never went back to it. That's the thing I do with a lot of Pokemon games. I get to the 8th gym and then stop. It's really frustrating why I do that. Like, I guess my attention span lasts a certain bit, and then that is just a terrible, inconvenient spot to last still. Next up, the first one, the DS, the oldest one I have, I believe. It might be Pokemon Ranger, I'm not sure, but Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Blue Rescue Team. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I know you do, Rusty. You enjoyed, I think you had Explorers of Darkness or Explorers of Time. And I wanted to dabble in that a bit, but I heard they're not very different. Like, there's barely any differences, even from this one to Explorers of Darkness, and then from that one to Explorers of Sky or something like that. I forget what it's called. But it's really cool spin-off. Like, it's amazing what they do with Pokemon, that they can cover so many genres and still do them so well. It's amazing how that works, because you think all the spin-offs would be terrible, even though some of them turn out to be some of the best. Like Pokemon Snap, you take pictures, they got that down. In this game, you're in a dungeon crawler, classic dungeon crawler, and you get that done well. I like the whole thing where you can help guys out. I always like those things where they have little bulletin boards and you can help others out. Pokemon Ranger. I really love this game actually, and it was a very good implementation of the stylus at the time, because this was around the early years of the DS where they're still using that technology. This really used it to its fullest, where you'd circle around the Pokemon and everything. It was really a lot of fun, I think. I enjoyed it. And I beat it. Pokemon Diamond. The cartridge actually got stolen. But this is one of my favorite Pokemon games. It's not my favorite Pokemon game. I think it's between this, Pokemon XD, and Pokemon Yellow. I'm still debating it in my head, but I really love this game, even though the Pokemon weren't the best ideas. But I really love the environments worked well. It was like a whole new adventure because, you know, the leap from Game Boy Advance to this, it was pretty huge, especially for me, since the only one I played on Game Boy Advance was Fire Red, which was a remake of an older game. So this was a huge leap. There was so many new features. It was really enjoyable. Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Almia. Yeah, it didn't come out. I didn't show this after Pokemon Ranger only because this was released after Pokemon Diamond in the timeline. But this is pretty good. It's pretty much what Pokemon Ranger did, but I think it's got a little more missions, a little more content. For some reason I didn't enjoy it as much. They made some little changes. But they were more like, I forget what they're called, partner Pokemon or something like that. Which are cool, and there's some cool missions in here. I really need to get back to it though. I'd love to do that sometime. Yeah, just thinking about it now, it seems like it'd be a lot of fun to do that. Pokemon Platinum. The reason I never got into this is because I had Diamond. This is pretty much a refined Diamond and Pearl. You just take Diamond, or Pearl. Take that game and just add a few more features, add a new location, add Giratina and its dark form, and then you have Pokemon Platinum. I don't think this is a good game to get if you already have Pokemon Diamond or Pearl, but if you don't have any of the Sinnoh region, then this is a perfect one to get because it's just the best of the three. Pokemon Heart Gold, this came with the Pokewalker. This is a box. I don't have the Pokewalker with me, it's actually right over there, but I never really used that, which is a shame. It was a good tool. It was interesting, like the whole Tamagotchi gimmick they're trying to bring to it. And I really love this game as well. It's amazing what they do with the remakes. This worked really well as a remake. I was able to enjoy this a lot more in the DS than I was ever able to do it on the Game Boy Color. And again, with Pokemon, why am I so stupid? I beat the 8 gym leaders, and then didn't beat the Elite Four. And I never like going back to a game and just playing from there because I always feel lost and not into it. Like I'm just there to beat the Elite Four, and then it's hard because I don't know what my best Pokemon were and everything. So I would probably have to restart if I was going to do this again. Pokemon Black version. This was the era of Pokemon. Like I was been so consistently into Pokemon all the other generations, and this one I dropped the ball on. Like I completely got out of the loop of Pokemon, and it's really, I think I really want to get back into Pokemon, but since it's Pokemon Black 2, it's gonna be hard now because I don't know if I'll probably get it eventually, but I still want to beat this because, again, I beat the 8 gym leaders and didn't beat the Elite Four, but then I started over. So I would have to play this through completely to do it. I really haven't had any inspiration to do it, and I don't know why. My time to shine is the 6th generation of Pokemon, and that's when I'm going to get fully into the Pokemon series again, and fully flesh myself and immerse myself in the experience again, into the world of Pokemon. Because I was such a huge fan then, of course. I still am. I love this TV series and everything. But there was something about the 5th generation that just got out of it for some reason, and then I never had any inspiration to go back. So yeah, I might not really get into the Pokemon Black 2 thing. I'll just be hearing people talk about how great it is and everything when it comes out in October. But I'm assuming 6th generation will be 3DS, so that's going to be a huge new leap because they got to do so many things like 3D Pokemon. They can bring 3D console experiences from like XD and Coliseum and pretty much bring them into the 3DS. So that's going to be really interesting to see just how far they take the series up now. And lastly, there's actually one more game, and that's Pokemon Rumble Blast for the 3DS, which came out in 2011 as well. This is a pretty good game. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. I put about 12 hours into it, and there's just a little bit more I need to do, and then I'll beat it. It's an interesting thing about the Pokemon series. This is just a beat 'em up mixed with a dungeon crawler, pretty much. And that's really another brilliant thing they've done with the Pokemon spin-offs. So yeah, I enjoyed this. I want to get back to beating that. Alright, that's it, guys. On top of that, I also have Pokemon Rumble on WiiWare, and I have Pokemon Puzzle League on the Virtual Console, so I wasn't able to show those, obviously. Tell me what you think of this video. Doing an awesome job, Rusty. Keep up with the channel. I love it. Check out the rest of my videos if you want to. Thanks for watching if you are. And thanks to everyone else for watching and subscribing. I'm getting up there slowly. I'm getting more and more subscribers. But once I get more into making more videos consistently again, now that I have the camera back, I should get a little bit more. So see you guys then, guys, and leave more suggestions. I have more on the way, and definitely some other plans hidden as well with some other members of the community. So see you guys.